hope you are feeling well and comfortable. Because now I'm going to open a door to a different place, an infinite dimension that is rarely illuminated by anyone. In this space, sensible reality holds as much value as any imagined object. Get ready to embark on this journey with us. Here is the encounter with the extraordinary. The Shadow of Thomas Alberto. The city of Grayville was an ordinary place where people's lives were intertwined with the rails of routine and mundane expectations. Every day, the same train passed through the station, punctual and uneventful. But something unusual happened one day. A loud horn resounded in the distance, echoing in the minds of those who heard it. No one knew where that sound came from, but it wasn't an ordinary train. It was Thomas Alberto, a mysterious wagon that came to life and detached itself from the tracks. Thomas didn't understand his own existence, but he felt an inexplicable urge to explore the world. He began to wander the dark streets of the city at night, a silent shadow that went unnoticed. Thomas Alberto, now aware, began to observe the lives of the people of Grayville. He witnessed passionate couples, exhausted mothers, frustrated businessmen, and desperate beggars. As he watched these lives unfold, he began to reflect on his own existence. What did he mean in the grand scheme of things? What was his purpose? One night, as he watched a couple in crisis from the top of a hill, Thomas felt a strange connection with them. It was as if his own confusion and loneliness echoed in the couple's problems. He began to realize that even though he was a train wagon, he too was in search of something that would give meaning to his life. Over time, Thomas Alberto became a recognized presence in the city. People began to notice his passing, even though he remained invisible to their eyes. Sometimes his nighttime laments were interpreted as whispers of the wind, while others believed it was just their imagination. Thomas's presence began to affect people in different ways. Some found comfort in the feeling that someone was watching and sharing their joys and sorrows. Others, however, felt that he was a threatening specter that revealed too much about their darkest secrets. Meanwhile, Thomas continued his search for meaning and purpose. He watched the sunrise and sunset, observed the relentless cycle of life and death, and finally began to understand that his existence was about witnessing and reflecting on the complexity of humanity. As the years passed, Thomas Alberto became a legend in the city, a metaphor for our relentless search for meaning in an apparently indifferent world. And, in his unique way, he found his own sense in simple observation and connection with humanity. Thomas Alberto, the mysterious train wagon, continued to roam the streets of Grayville, observing people's lives and reflecting on his own existence. One night, as he wandered along the edge of a river, he noticed a young woman with a vacant look, on the verge of throwing herself into the dark and treacherous water. Even though he was rolling on the edge of the wheel, she noticed him. Their eyes met, and suddenly he sensed the despair in her face. Terrified by the feeling of being observed by a specter, the girl stepped back from the precipice. Her name was Emily, and she was going through a dark moment in her life, battling deep depression and an overwhelming sense of anguish. Thomas Alberto, now aware of human pain, felt a deep empathy for her. As the nights passed, Thomas continued to watch Emily from a distance, concerned for her well-being. He saw the weight she carried, the sleepless nights, and the silent tears shed on her pillow. He began to contemplate the nature of life and death, wondering what might await him beyond this world. He imagined the pain this girl must be feeling, even in a fleeting glance. Meanwhile, Emily became obsessed with the idea that Thomas Alberto was a specter haunting her. She went through sleepless nights, afraid of his invisible presence. Her mind plunged into a spiral of paranoia and despair, questioning the reality of everything around her. She questioned the afterlife and what might await her. She wondered if ghosts were really hauntings or just lonely beings in search of meaning, like herself. Perhaps she was a ghost herself, walking in a world where she couldn't materialize, haunting those she loved, and accepting the bare minimum of attention from a fantastical reality. A lost soul, wandering who still wanted to give up her life, a reality she wouldn't accept. But when her nails hurt her skin and she felt pain, the fear of death appeared, and the uncertainty about what would happen next. So she accepted it. Tired of living in fear, she decided to confront Thomas Alberto. She went to the street where he was parked in the fifth slumber, spending his nights invisible. With courage, she approached and spoke to him, hoping to understand the truth behind the mysterious appearance. To her surprise, Thomas Alberto was not a malevolent specter, but a kind and caring being who understood human pain. They began to talk and share their stories, discovering that they had much in common regarding their internal struggles and the search for meaning. Over time, Emily and Thomas Alberto became inseparable friends. They supported each other on the journey to overcome their fears and anxieties. As their friendship blossomed, they also discovered a deep emotional connection, a passion that transcended the boundaries of reality. They decided to face life together, no matter how challenging it might be. However, they faced resistance from their families and society in general, who couldn't understand the unusual relationship between a girl and a train wagon. But Emily and Thomas Alberto were determined to follow their hearts. And so, Emily and Thomas Alberto decided to get married, not only as an act of love, but as a commitment to face the unknown together, whether in life or in death. Their story inspired many in the city of Grayville to look beyond appearances and embrace the complexity and beauty of human existence. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Leave your thoughts in the comments and share your opinions with us. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Stay tuned for more incredible stories and interesting videos. Until next time.